February Memory Verse.
Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Bye, CLC. Isaac, can you say bye?
Bye-bye. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I guess Joshua 1:9.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9.
Repeat after Mama. Say Joshua 1:9.
Joshua 1:9.
Say, have I not commanded you?
Have I commanded you?
Be strong and courageous.
To be strong and courageous.
Do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
Do not be discouraged.
Do not be good.
For the Lord your God
With the God,
is with you wherever you go.
wherever you go.
Joshua 1:9.
From Joshua 9.
Yay, good girl. Can you say hi, Jessica?
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Austin.
Hi, Austin.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Can you blow a kiss? Good girl.
Let's sing.
He's the one who makes the sun shine.
Superheroes of the Bible. Superhero David.
Hi kids! So we're talking about superheroes. Superheroes of the Bible were ordinary people who did extraordinary things. Now our superhero this week was ordinary, but did some really extraordinary things. So who is it, you might ask? It's David. Now, a lot of us heard of David. He was famous for doing extraordinary things. But in the beginning, you would say he was a very ordinary person. And why would you say that? Because he was the youngest in his family. And at the time, he was just a shepherd that would take care of the sheep, and nobody really even paid much attention to him. In fact, Samuel was told by God that one of Jesse's sons was going to be the king. And Samuel was to go to Jesse's house and he was to anoint the one that was going to be king. But God wasn't going to tell Samuel who it was until he got there. So when Samuel arrived, he came to the house, and there was Jesse with his sons, and his first and oldest son came through, and he was tall and big and handsome. And Samuel thought, oh, this has got to be the king. And God said no. And then, so the next brother came through, and he was big and tall and good looking. And Samuel said, this must be the king. And God said no. And Jesse's 7 sons came through, and each one, Samuel thought, oh, this must be it. And God told Samuel, look, you're looking on the outside, but I'm looking at what's inside this person. And so at that time, Samuel said to Jesse, well, I've seen 7 of your sons. Is that it? Is there not any more? And Jesse said, yeah, well, I do have one other son, but he's taking care of the sheep. David was so ordinary that he hadn't even been invited to the party. And so Jesse said, go and get him. And they brought David, and he was just a young boy at that time, probably about the size and age of Austin. And when Samuel saw him, God said to him, this is going to be the king. So Samuel anointed him as king. David wasn't even thought about when it came time to be thinking about who was going to be the king. He was just ordinary. So ordinary David had been anointed to be king. And of course, the other famous story about David was, of course, David and Goliath. Everybody's heard that story, right? How tiny, small, young David defeated the huge, great warrior Goliath. Now, you might think that that was David's superpower, but you know what? It wasn't. It was great. I mean, it showed that he had great faith in God. He saw this man who was making fun of God and God's people, and he said, that ain't right. I'll stand up to him. And he did, and he trusted God and had great faith. But that wasn't his superpower. His superpower was that he had a heart toward God. And what that meant was that when things were happening, or even when things were bad, he always wanted to follow what God wanted him to do. And there were times that he did bad things, and when it was presented to him, he always felt sorry about it. And he asked God's forgiveness. And that was David's superpower. And that's a superpower that we can all have. One, that we always want to follow God and what he wants us to do. And when we have done things that are wrong or not right, that we're sorry for them. That's being extraordinary. That's having a superpower that all of us can have.
Superhero Silly Segment.